Returning to our breaking news, Nationals MP Barnaby Joyce has just announced that he won't be standing for his electorate of New England again. Well, for more on this, joining us live is Courier Mail columnist Des Houghton. Des, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, my colleague Andrew Clennell just broke it this hour. What do you make of the announcement?
Oh, quite obviously, Barnaby is positioning himself to join One Nation. And let's face it, he would probably be a very good fit there. The big problem for the Conservatives is, who will follow Barnaby to One Nation if he goes? And we must speak too of the longevity of Pauline Hanson herself, who's now in her 70s, and she's kind of indicated to me previously that she's not going to go on forever. So Barnaby, what is he, 58? He could very well end up being One Nation leader. And wouldn't he love being a loose cannon in Canberra?
And it's interesting what he did say. I'll read you and our viewers a little bit of the statement. "I will not be standing for New England again, but will complete my term as promised. At the last election, I will leave with the greatest of love for all and money in the electorate bank account. I'm free to now consider all options as to what to do next." So that is a telling line, isn't it? He hasn't sort of said what his options are, but he's leaving them free at this moment to see what he will do next.
Oh, he's a political animal par excellence. He is a good retail politician, as we know. He's got accountancy qualifications. He can read a balance sheet. He's well poised to cause a lot of trouble. He's against the coalition, she says, pussyfooting around with net zero, etc. I watch him with great interest on Sky News, covers him very, very well with the live crosses to his place at Tamworth. And I think big changes on the horizon for Australian politics.
We're actually going to speak to Russell Webb, the Tamworth Mayor, very shortly as well. But we did get you on to talk about your column this week, including a former Liberal Party member has won a High Court appeal, and that's regarding several posts on Facebook. What can you tell us has happened here?
Dr Andrew Lamming, the former member for Bowman in Queensland, the Electoral Commission, Australian Electoral Commission, took him to court. They've just had to pay. He's won in the High Court, and they've had to pay his costs. So the Commission has been left with egg on its face. There was some incredible stuff actually come out of the High Court and in the recent parliamentary estimates hearings, where Jane Hume quizzed the AEC chiefs about the Lamming case. And they admitted that it was kind of a test case because they were unclear about the laws. This got me thinking, wondering whether Lamming was in fact the guinea pig in a wider thing. The posts were benign. He was asking for protection for Redlands Hospital funding in his electorate. The AEC said he hadn't properly authorised those posts in the lead up to the election, and that he technically breached the law. Lamming agreed. He agreed to take them down, to amend it, apologise, which he did. But no, they dragged it through the federal court, then the full court of the federal court, and then on to the High Court. And this is going to end up paying. This is going to end up costing taxpayers probably $1 million or more. For a bunch of bureaucratic activism over some confusing Electoral Act laws that nobody can really understand, including the judges of the highest courts in the land can't agree on it.
And another article that you wrote, Des, is on the battles with cancer by a Queensland MP. It sounds like this particular gentleman had no symptoms. He had his yearly blood tests. What can you tell us from this story?
This is a really good warning for all blokes, over 30 or 40 to get their PSIs checked. Scott Emerson was a minister in the Newman government. He lost his inner city Brisbane seat to the Greens. He has become an ocean swimmer. He swims great distances. He's the fittest man in Queensland, and yet he goes and has his test done and discovers he's got an aggressive form of cancer, and he's had his prostate removed in Brisbane at Wesley Hospital, believe it or not, with the help of a robot. He thinks he's clear, but it just goes to show you this man was a very, very fit guy, and it knocked him down. And we've got to get checked.
Yeah, we certainly do. We certainly do. Well, last but not least, we always love your irritant of the week, and this one is about Queensland's 40-kilometre school speed zones. You say that they strangle traffic flows and offer little genuine road safety, that you can see they're most unnecessary.
Well, they're mostly a nonsense, and they strangle cities, these special school zones, where they're not needed. Of course, they might be needed in some places, but they have to put them on all schools so everyone's, in the name of equity and all that, which is a nonsense. I mean, school children aren't that stupid as they can cross the road. A lot of these speed zones are in areas where there are barriers between the road and the footpath anyway, so they're really not needed, and they're just a complete nonsense. They're strangling our cities, costing extra fuel. They've got nothing going for them.
Well, Des, we always appreciate you joining us, and thank you also for giving us your analysis on the breaking news as well. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All the best to you.